Hello everyone, I'm the Holy Hermit and I welcome you to a new video for Dota 2. The new year is upon us, so I just want to say to my friends before I start the video, a very happy new year to all of you. I hope whatever you wish for in your future comes true for you. So with that in mind, let's get back to Dota 2 and I have a carry gameplay for you today. The carry I'll be playing, of course, as by the title of the video, is Phantom Lancer, the guy previously known as Cancer Lancer. So before we get into details of the video about how the gameplay goes and all that stuff, let's look at the broader perspective, right? Phantom Lancer back in the day was lovingly, or not so lovingly, called as Cancer Lancer, right? This hero was called Cancerous for one very important reason, that if it goes to late game, Phantom Lancer would out-carry everyone because he's going to split push the hell out of you, something like a Naga Siren does right now, but Phantom Lancer used to be equally if not better at it, and that used to be the hero. Now the hero has been retweaked. He's had some couple of changes, and the big question, as I said for the video today, is the big overview is Phantom Lancer still cancerous? Is he cancerous to the gameplay? Is he a horrible hero that should be nerfed? Or is he just perfect? So, not going to say much about that. I'm going to let you all figure out how this works. For me personally, I love Phantom Lancer. He's a hero I've been playing a lot recently. I think I've got the most success with this hero, as you can imagine. That's why I've uploaded a video, right? But I chose this game specially because it's not about the score of the game or anything. I just want to show the principle of the Phantom Lancer and to prove how good of a hero he is in the right situation. I actually picked a situation that's completely against me. As in, if the odds are turned against me, can a Phantom Lancer do well? And by that I mean we're going to look at the enemy heroes before we get into the game, right? A Phantom Lancer, in essence, is still an illusion hero who spawns illusions. They right click, they do a lot of damage. So to counter Phantom Lancer is to go for a hero that has an inbuilt ability to cleave, or heroes that can build items that let them cleave later on. So if you look at the lineup, alright, they have an anti-mage who does exactly that. His first item is Battle Fury, as you all know. Now the second hero they have is Ogre. Now that's again a great thing against Phantom Lancer, right? If you know which one's real, you can stun him and you can stun him to death. But what's more better than a stun for a Phantom Lancer, as in a counter against Phantom Lancer, would be Silence. And that ability, Death Prophet has it already. She's amazing because of her ultimate, but also because of that 6-second silence, which is just ridiculously good. That's what makes Death Prophet so good in pro scene right now. Next hero, Undying. He's very tanky. He's going to steal health from me. He's generally going to be annoying. He's going to drop a tombstone, and when things go wrong, he's going to turn into this big gigantic golem who will just eat everyone to death. So that's Undying, another good pick against me. And finally, we've got Sven, who is known for his amazing ability to cleave the hell out of anyone, not just me. If you get into a 1v1 battle with Sven, chances are you're gonna get your your face pushed in, right? That's how things work with Sven. So two carries in their team who actually make cleave are great against me. So I have a horrible lineup against me that I really have to play extremely well to win the game. If I don't secure my farm early on, I'll be in lots of trouble late game, because if I get slightly behind the farm, I will be in trouble. Now, to introduce my team, I have me, of course, as Phantom Lancer. I have my friend here, Keeper of the Light. He's a personal friend of mine. Hi, you guys. And he likes playing Kotl. You know, that's his favorite hero. He doesn't care what hero you'll pick. He just loves Kotl. So we're going with that. And you'll see he'll do some amazing things later on. We also have a great initiator tool. We've got Tidehunter. So if things go wrong, maybe he can jump in and ulti and save us. Tiny is all about that magic burst, as you all know. He avalanches and tosses into the avalanche, deals double damage because the way avalanche deals, you know, calculates damage for you. And then Drow for some right click power, right? Stay away, right click, and you can do something. And she's actually going to get a kill. There we go. It's actually Tidehunter securing it. So we have good lineup, but we don't have any synergy. But their team has a lot of synergy, right? As I said, they got an anti-mage who can chase you to the ends of the earth. You've got Sven who can stun and just face kick you. And at the same time as I say that, he actually does secure a kill. He kills my friend, Keeper of the Light. And that's the problem about Phantom Lancer in the beginning, guys. You know, he's there, he can jump in and out of the battle, but he can't really do a lot. You know, he can basically right click. He's got one Phantom Lance, but usually in the early level it's not doing much damage. It's not the best, he's not the best early game hero. Like, Phantom Lancer still is about staying away, getting your head down, getting that farm going, and then after you got the farm, you basically go in and, you know, punish people. So I'm going to focus on my hero now. I've explained the whole game, the big premise of Phantom Lancer and the picks against me. and my job I'm playing is a safe lane carry. So if I'm taking that spot, I better be good, and I better own up to this fact and actually do good. I don't want to disappoint my teammates, because I always think that if you're playing a safe lane, it's your job really to know your safe lane carry, because most people at our level would commit an atrocity, and that atrocity is you go to safe lane but you can't farm. As you can see me right now, I'm ruining it, but you'll see later on how the game goes and do I fulfill that criteria. So the skill builds, I like to go for Phantom Lancer. I'll talk about that in the beginning. I like to always max out the Spirit Lance, because this is, as they say, your bread and butter nuke. I'm gonna, yeah, there we go. So this skill deals a decent amount of damage. It summons an illusion at a point, and you also slow the target down. Pretty good ability. Now the next one is Doppelganger. This is where Phantom Lancer has been changed. Earlier what he used to do is he used to be able to go invisible. He just simply disappear and he'll summon a clone of himself, and you can trick people like that. So back in the days, he can summon illusions and he can go invis. So that's why he was called cancerous. He'll have so many illusions who would do a lot of damage. And the other thing was he used to have multiple illusions that could last for a very long time. But let's look at the next skill. The next skill is called Phantom Rush. It's a very cool ability, and you need to know how to work this, right? Because most of the time people get this ability wrong. Now the way it works is you have to be at least 300 distance away from your target. If you are 300 distance away from your target and you right click them, your Phantom Lancer will run towards them and do a right click. It's as simple as that. It's a chasing ability, and the max distance he will chase up to is 600. So even if you're 300 distance away but the target is, let's say, 700 units away, he's not going to rush at them. He'll walk and cover that distance first and then rush towards him. But later on it doesn't get any range up. It does get range upgrade. It doesn't get anything else, damage or anything. It's quite simply a chasing ability, which is what makes Phantom Lancer an amazing hero. He's been reworked, and I think he's better because he's cancerous but not at the same time. He's still okay, but never mind. Let's talk about the final skill, which is the same old skill called Juxtapose. He summons a lot of illusions of himself, and the illusions can also summon illusions, but the difference right now is these illusions only last for 8 seconds or so, right? And this is very important, guys. You have to understand that the old Phantom Lancer build, to my knowledge, is a pretty bad one actually, and it shouldn't work for you. If you think about it. And I'll go over the facts about the item choices later on. So that's Phantom Lancer for you guys. He's a hero who deals a nuke damage. He can summon multiple illusions. This Doppelganger, I didn't talk about this skill clearly, did I? So Doppelganger, basically, you press the button, he'll take you press the skill, and he basically vanishes. When he vanishes, after 1 second, he'll return back to a battlefield with 2 illusions. One of the illusions will deal no damage, and I think will take the normal damage, and the other illusions deals very little damage and takes 600% damage. Yeah, there we go. But the cool part of the ability, which you'll see me do, is you can actually use it to disjoint a lot of spells. As in, if Sven throws a stun at me, I can cast the ability immediately. I will disappear, the stun will hit thin air, and I'll be fine. So there we go. That's the first gang. Tiny comes in, he talks about it. Here we are. We come in and we get the first kill. So as you see, right, that's how Phantom Lance works. You basically initiate on a guy, you deal damage, and you slow them down. Tiny had DD, so there's no way Sven could do anything about it. Now, next thing I'm going to talk about is a skill build for Phantom Lancer. And it's pretty similar to other carries I play, actually. Very similar to Troll Warlord. I will always start with a Ring of Protection. I will get a Salve and a Tango and an Ironwood Branch. Now, as I said, the way I like to make these videos is I like to make these videos for new people who are around my level, because there are so many pro players out there who will tell you something different, which is absolutely true, right? But the problem I have there is they can press 1,000 buttons at a time, and they can do those things. A new player like me, I want simple and effective ways that can make everyone a good player. That's what I want to focus on, right? And for that very reason, I actually, when I'm going to a lane, as you'll see, I will rarely go back to base in most of my videos, because I make sure that if I'm playing a carry, my job is to stay on high health. I should get ganks if I can, but if not, the least thing I should do is I should always be in the lane and sap experience. So if they right click me, what do? I basically get extra regen to make sure I'm always in the lane, right? So you see what I'm trying to get to, guys. Normally a Phantom Lancer player would be like, okay, get Salve, Tango, you get whatever you want, and then an Ironwood Branch. I don't do that. And the other good thing about Phantom Lancer is if you get 1 Ironwood Branch, his right click damage, as in his level 1 damage, is 63, which is ridiculously high if you think about it, guys, right? That's a lot of damage. So he's pretty good in terms of dealing damage. Last hitting should not be a problem with him. His attack animation is pretty cool as well. I like it. He's it's very, like, you can get used to it. It's not something like Drow Ranger, which is absolutely, it puts you off track. So it's a pretty good ability that attack animation he's got. So there we go. That's the starting item. The next thing I like to rush, of course, is the Ring of Aquila. Treads are pretty much core on him, and this time I think my friend's probably going to die. Yes, I think so. There we go. See, I couldn't do much there. So every time, as you saw, an Undying, if he drops a tombstone, I'm pretty much, you can't contest it. That's the power of Undying, right, guys? Like, when the tombstone is there, these zombies are going to keep spawning. The lower health you are on, they're going to keep chasing you faster. So as you saw me, I basically doppelgangered my way out of there because that stun might have hit me, and it could have caused problem. But as you can see right now, we're picking our battles. Tiny comes in, and I'm waiting for my Phantom Rush proc. Will it happen? Will it happen? Will it happen? And there we go. The illusion, Tiny's own illusion, worked out. So look at that. I used the spell. I actually disjointed the attack, and I'm walking away. So there you go. As I said, you need to know when to pick your battles, guys. And as a carry, you have to be aggressive every now and then. But mainly your job is to not feed, right? It's the most important thing you need to go for. Now the skill build I went here is kind of weird, right? And the reason why I'll tell that is usually what I will go is I'll try to get 3... No, actually I'm doing it right. Yeah, I very much think so. No, I've got 1 point wrong. Yeah. So the skill build is you max out Spirit Lance when you can. The next thing I go for is Doppelganger, and I'll tell you why, because this is slightly different from most Phantom Lances. I'm going to put the camera on the player as I talk about this issue as well. So if you look at it, this skill is pretty good, but all it gives you is it reduces the cooldown of your Phantom Rush. See, the distance increases, but all you see is from every 16 seconds of it proccing to every 4 seconds. It's really cool, right? And the same thing goes for Doppelganger if you think about it. All you get reduced is a cooldown. But I use this ability because I have Sven in my lane and I have other heroes that can stun in the enemy team. As you can see, like, Undying can, well, he can't stun me, but Undying can come and cast a spell on me. Ogre can come and simply stun me, and also Death Prophet can use her Crypt Swarm or Bat Swarm, whatever it's called, to do damage. And I can disjoint all of that damage if I have my Doppelganger up. And I also use Doppelganger in another cool way, and that cool way is, guys, is by actually going to the jungle, and I can use Doppelganger to farm, as you'll see later on. So here we go. I'll try to catch him. I wouldn't be able to, and my friend gets initiated from the back. This is probably my mistake, but the good thing is Death Prophet used her ultimate. She didn't get a single kill. Coddle survived. Look at that. That's the zombie chasing you, and I survived too. So I harassed Undying. He's probably somewhere back here. Let's go to free camera. And the good thing is the mid came here, and we basically didn't lose anything for it. Coddle's going to charge, so he's going to slow the push down, and we've got Tiny here. So I've salved myself up. I know I have enough mana, and I'm like, if they come forward or if they do anything, we can initiate. We're hooking around, and this should be an easy kill. See, I initiate with the Phantom Lance, and I quite simply run into him. And now all I'm going to do is just basically follow him and right click, and the Phantom Lance connects, and I get my first kill. Death Prophet smartly TPs out. And there we go. So I got my first kill, guys. More importantly, as bad as I am learning the game, I think I've got okay in a farm. I've got 48 CS with 1 kill and 2 assists. I have finished my Aquila, and I'm working my way towards the next item, right? So as you see, as I said, Phantom Lancer in the beginning is kind of a squishy hero, and I avoid the squishiness by actually maxing out Doppelganger second. I still very much think so that Spirit Lance, maxing it out is the right way to go. And later on, when I get my items, when I get my Diffusal, I will actually get to Phantom Rush and I'll max it out. And when this ability is maxed out, no one can run away from Phantom Lancer. So you can make argument, by the way, of maxing out Phantom Rush in a case where you actually have a very good pushing lineup, and you actually got another hero in your team that does other things than Coddle, because all Coddle can do is he can give you mana and he can mana leak someone, and that's about it. And if he has mana leak someone, I don't really have to go and chase them, right? Because the hero would like to stay there, and he'd like to stay there because if he moves, he loses all the mana. So that's why I decided that maxing Phantom Rush is not the right deal. We're basically going to max out Doppelganger. So that's our hero. I also buy a Stout Shield. Now, very important, guys. Most people miss it out, and I actually delayed it as well. But I delayed it because I know that I've got a good support with me, that I don't really have to contest a lot of right clicks. Usually when your hero is right clicking in the lane a lot and he's taking a harass from a ranged hero, Stout Shield is always a must. And Stout Shield is also good because when you're jungling with a shield, it helps you a lot. It's really a big difference. Now, as you see, I've reached level 8, which was quite a while ago, and now I can actually jungle as well. Now, you'll see me do this a lot. When the wave pushes back towards me, I'm actually going to go and contest the wave. I'm just basically trying to bully him because I have Coddle who gives me free mana, so why not to harass him? But basically, I'll try to keep the wave pushed in, but if it gets way too on the tower, I walk away and I'll jungle. So that's what I'll be doing, guys. That's the plan for the game. And I'm still worried. I have been looking around the map. I'm on the free camera right now, but I was looking around. I was looking at the enemy heroes, like how the game is going. It's pretty even right now. Anti-mage already has his perseverance. As you can see, as I said, right, this game they've got heroes who directly counter me, and he's on his way to make a right item. So there we go. As I said, I basically use my juxtapose to summon a lot of illusions, and I can basically farm with this. So that's the goal of Phantom Lancer. You should show up for fight when you can, but your priority is to take the game late game, right? Your hero is a late game hero, and he is not the pushing hero he used to be. But still, Phantom Lancer, I think he still needs a lot of farm. He's not Troll Warlord. You know, Troll Warlord can fight very early on in the game. He's that kind of carry. He's no Phantom Assassin as well, because she can also fight pretty well early game. Phantom Lancer, all you have is your Spirit Lance, and that's it. You know, you've thrown your nuke out, and then you all have to do is right click. So you have to be careful, and you have to pick your battle. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm slowly farming my way. I've got Tiny coming up top and help me. Let's look at the whole map and see what other people are doing. We can also look at game stats. We are going to look last hits and denies. So right now, as you can see, guys, I am at the top of the farming thing. I have more farm than anti-mage, and this is something I have to make sure, right, guys? He is their safe lane carry, I'm my safe lane carry, and if we look at the net worth, which we can right now, there we go, I am above anti-mage, and this is pretty good. I'm sure you guys will agree, right? In a lane where we have Sven as the stunning hero, and then Undying with his basically sapping the life out of you, thanks to my friend Kotl here, I can actually keep the farm up, and I'm pretty ahead of Mr. Anti-mage. So that's basically the goal here, guys. And see, right, the wave has been pushed. Tiny gets his kill. Look where I am. I'm not even there. I'm right there jungling, and I'm doing my thing. So that's very important. And I've called some items to me. I'm not sure what exactly it is. Oh, it's actually going to be almost my... Is that mine? It probably is. Yeah. I should have switched the item out. Let's see if I do that or not. So I'm working my way towards... yeah, there we go. I got my Blade of Electricity. That's fine. So I'm trying to make Diffusal. Now let's talk about item builds. As I said, Phantom Lancer has changed quite a bit from what he used to be in the past, right? Let's go to player perspective while I talk about it. As I mentioned earlier, look at that. That's what I talked about farming, guys, right? That stun does 25 damage. Ideally, I should dodge it, I should avoid it, but hey, whatever. So there we go, guys, right? That's why Doppelganger is so good. You initiate with it, and you instantly have 3 illusions that can overwhelm the creep camp. And this allows you to do one thing. It allows you to not take any right-click damage. Now look at this again. Hopefully, look at that. I do the same thing. I move my hero back a little, so that way they start stacking my illusions, and it's quite simply, I can do this forever. It only costs 50 mana. Bear in mind, you're an agility hero with a ridiculously good int gain. I can't see it right now. It's something like 2 points or something. Intelligence gain per level. And there we go. See, I summon an illusion, and look at that. You can easily overwhelm them. And this is ability. That's why I like maxing out Doppelganger first. It helps me escape a lot of ganks. It helps me to initiate as well. And it also, you know, helps me with farm. Now, Kotl was there. I think he overextended, as a Kotl should always stay near the tower, right? Or only go out if you have vision, but there we go. His stun is gone, and now I know that his stun is away. I can actually chase him down. I'm going to throw my Spirit Lance at him, and this hopefully should be an easy kill. There we go. And that's what I talked about, right, guys? About Phantom Lancer being a hero that is, you know, always in your face, and you can never run away from him once you get the farm. Now I realize it's under tower. I'm actually gonna get back. Did they actually have a tower or something? No, they did. Yeah, the tower's still up. So I actually made a wise decision of backing out. Didn't want it to fight under tower because he's always got that tombstone as a backup, right? So there we go, guys. I'm calling the courier again. I believe this is going to be my first item, and it's also the time where I think I should talk about the item choices. As I kept mentioning earlier, he is not a split pushing hero, but he's still a hero that excels well into the late game. I pick up my Ironwood branch. So Diffusal Blade, I think, is a core item still for a Phantom Lancer for so many reasons. And the first reason is it allows you to put a slow on a target. You have your normal lance as well that slows people down, but you also have, look at that charge, right? So easy to pull that thing off. It's amazing. Now she's gonna chase me. Let's see if she does or not. She knows she can't. But getting back to the item, I get that kill pretty easily. Spirit Lance has a 40% movement speed slow. Look at that, guys. See? That's what I mean about Doppelganger, right? It's such an amazing ability. He throws his stun, he wastes his mana, wastes the cooldown, and look how much mana I spent to avoid that. 50. Just cast it. And I also right-clicked him with my illusions, which basically drained his mana again. So that's why I love Doppelganger, because if I get level 4 low cooldown, I'm sorted. But getting back to the item build, Spirit Lance deals a 40% slow. If I actually use the active of a Diffusal Blade, which is called Purge, it slows the target down, and it really slows them down ridiculously well. They got team coming back. I clearly back off. So Diffusal Blade is an item. Once a Phantom Lancer gets Diffusal Blade, the active part, sorry, the combat part of this is no one can run away from you. If you use the item actively, as in you use a charge on an enemy, they basically get slowed down. Also, if for some reason you have got some debuffs on you, that could be pretty much anything, right? Like movement speed slow or something, you know, CM has just thrown the slow move on you, the first spell of hers. You can purge effects off. You can also purge dust off as well. Like if you've been dusted and if you had invis for some reason, you can use the Diffusal Blade to basically remove any negativity. Look at that, he does something and I escape that as well, so that's pretty good for me, right? So Diffusal Blade lets me do that. Also, Diffusal Blade gives you mana burn, so every time I attack, I burn mana of enemy, which is 20 points. I burn 25. I burn 25 points of mana of enemy, and every point of mana I burn, I deal equivalent amount of damage. Now that's pretty good, right? It's good for heroes like Ricky, you all probably know, but on Phantom Lancer, this is excellent, and the reason is all the illusions I have that have been summoned are also affected by this ability, as in those illusions who do no damage at all will now deal a lot of damage, and they will also burn an enemy's mana down. So Phantom Lancer, what this happens to Phantom Lancer, what this leads to for Phantom Lancer is it makes him a hero that can absolutely destroy your supports. Like, I don't think there's any support that can easily counter Phantom Lancer. There might be some, I'm probably missing them out, but usually this lets Phantom Lancer be so annoying that you can never run away from Phantom Lancer. Like once he gets his eye on you mid to late game, you are pretty much dead. And as you can see right now, I've slowed him down, Tiny's there, and there we go. That's Keeper of the Light getting the last hit, and that was pretty easy, right? I slowed him down and then I instantly used a Diffusal charge. That just ensured that this guy is not going to move away. I carefully move away, I avoided the stun. Now we know Death Prophet is coming, so there's no point in standing there. We want her ultimate to go away, so there we go. So that's the first item, guys, right? Diffusal Blade I still think is a pretty good choice. Now the next item that I will be working on, I actually have gold for it, so probably I'm going to buy right now, would be a Manta Style. Now Manta Style is pretty good, and I'll tell you why, right? Back in the days, of course, it was a tool that you can use for pushing. It does a very simple thing, as in it's summoned. Look at that, another dodge, guys. I love Doppelganger, right? And he's chasing me. He's trying to chase me, and I Diffusal him, so he gets slowed. And this is going to be fun. Tiny comes in. I'm like, time to jump back in, and here we go. We chase him, and just nothing lives, guys. Like once Phantom Lancer, you know. If you don't have silences against, look at that. Silence is so dangerous. Now think about it, guys. I can't do anything. If they had a hero near there, Death Prophet silencing me would mean a kill. But right now, if you don't have any backup, you know, it's pretty good for me. So, speaking of that silence being a very good counter to Phantom Lancer, what can I do to avoid that is to get the next item, which is a core item I still think for Phantom Lancer, and that is the Manta Style. Now, Manta Style gives you a lot of damage, it gives you agility, and that's another thing, right? Look at this hero's agility gain, it's ridiculous, it's 3 per level, it's pretty freaking good, you know? And look at the damage as well. At level 11, my base damage is 138. That's just so amazing. And that's all I do on this hero. I build these kind of items that give me stats. I enjoy stats on my Phantom Lancer, which I'll talk about later on as well, of how I can, you know, make this better and all. So there we go. So I get the first item, Yasha, and when I get Manta Style, I can basically summon more illusions, means more right-clicking power. They can also summon their own illusions, and they can mana burn, most importantly. But the other thing that I talked about, the big counter to me, is silence, right? If a Phantom Lancer gets silenced, people know which one's the real one, because you don't have the chance to multiply, and you're an easy target. A Phantom Lancer without his illusion is a horrible hero. So how you can make sure that you can always keep your illusions up, and that's simple. You buy a Manta Style. So when you get silenced, all you have to do basically is use your Manta Style, and Manta Style will break any casted ability on you. So if they've silenced you, no worries, press the Manta button, you get 3 illusions. Now enemy is confused, hey, which one's the real one? But more importantly, you've removed that silence off you, and you're good to go. You're good to just destroy them again. So next item, I truly believe the core item for Phantom Lancer is definitely a Manta Style. Now the next item, let's talk about this a little bit further. Now what can you make? Now back in the days, Phantom Lancer used to always go for a heart, And the reason why heart was good is because if you get raw HP, then your illusions get a lot of HP, and that's basically helpful for you, right? Because if you are split pushing with the old Phantom Lancer, you want your illusions to last as long as they can, because if they last for long, they're going to keep summoning illusions, and it really becomes cancerous. Whereas this Phantom Lancer, the new one, the illusions only last for 8 seconds. Now if you think about it, if you give your illusions 20,000 HP, let's just go for a stupid number. What good is that 20,000 HP when first of all they don't do enough damage, they don't do much damage because, you know, they're illusions, they deal very, very low damage. And they only stay alive for 8 seconds, which means you can't even keep enemies busy for a long time. So instead, what you should do, in my opinion, rather than getting a Heart of Tarask, is to go for something like a Skadi. I truly believe that Eye of Skadi is a new item for Phantom Lancer, because it gives you the same kind of thing, EHP, as the Heart of Tarask does. You know, if you look at it, it's the second strongest HP item in the game, I think, after heart. But it also gives you dexterity, which is agility, which is obviously your right-clicking power. It also gives you mana, so you have a bigger mana pool, and it gives you that ridiculously good slow. So if you imagine, you can Spirit Lance an enemy, slow him down, you can Manta to catch up if it's really that much of a problem. Look at this, guys. Look at the mana drain on this guy. And boom! I laughed for about 5 minutes there, guys. Did you see what's happened there? My friend and I were just on Skype, just laughing ridiculously for just, I don't know, for such a long time. I do all the hard work. I drained the guy's mana, I diffuseled him, and poof, here comes Keeper of the Light and, you know, right clicks him to death. That was funny. That was so funny, you know. But anyway, so you saw the point there though, guys. That's anti-mage. You know, that hero is all about blinking away. And if you think about it, Manta style is something that, you know, you can use. Some people are messaging me. I'm sorry about that, guys. So there we go, you know, that's Phantom Lancer for you. You can drain their enemy carries mana and they can't blink or do silly things like that. And now I'm pretty much feeling confident that, as you can see, earlier if I go to free camera right now, I was farming on the top lane and I was doing things. Now I'm actually coming mid. I'm being very aggressive because I have my items, I know how to escape, and I'm basically pressuring the lane, you know. That's my job. But more important than pressuring is my job to keep farming, because I'm a farming hero. Usually it's your supports that pressure the lane, or some other hero that doesn't need that much farm. Death Prophet, as we speak right now, is probably going to go to attack the tower. We still got the net worth up, and as you can see, I'm about only, wow. So Anti-Mage is catching up, and you know why Anti-Mage is catching up, guys? Because the man has a Battle Fury, right? Like, I can farm fast, but wow, you know, Anti-Mage can just blink from one camp to the other, and he can, you know, he can do Anti-Mage like things. So I'm not really worried, but I'm still happy actually. I'm kind of ahead, and if you look at everyone else in the team, we are way far ahead. If we look at the kills and deaths, so Tiny is leading the chart. He's got 6 kills and 1 death. Pretty good, right? Tiny's doing a great job. Tide's got 2 kills on our side. That's pretty good. Death Prophet has died a few times, but she's got kills, but I'm still alive, and that's something I make sure, right? Remember the first thing I talk about if you want to play carries, guys, right? Like, that's what I've always, you know, I've always stressed. Let's go to game stats, there we go. Is if you're playing a carry, you know, your job should try to be get kills, but also, you know, try not to die at all, you know, because if you are dying, then, you know, things are nasty. And let's talk about dying. Let's see what happens here. I'm probably going to get cleaved. No. I'm living. Am I going to live? 6 seconds. Can I get the cooldown off? Oh, they're chasing me. I juke him. I disappear. Oh, I died. So that's my death, guys. I led them out, and hopefully, see, Anti-Mage has been stunned. He has no mana. Hopefully, Tide will be able to finish him off. Let's see that. Okay, Drow's here. This fight's going to go pretty well for the team. There we go. So my friend again, Keeper of the Light, gets the kill. Funny, right? I do all the hard work. I take his HP down, and yeah, here he comes to steal the last hit. We were laughing about this as well. So good times, guys. Good times. And so let's look at that. So our farm, we do have Manta, right? No, I think I bought something. No, I finished my Manta recently, so that's why I've got no gold. So we're 1 death down, we have 4 kills, and the game is kind of going okay, right? We've taken their towers. If we look at the tower net worth, I think that, yeah, they are ahead. No, pretty much even, guys. Yeah, we have more kills. That's about it. This tower's about to go. But apart from that, you know, it's going pretty evenly. Anti-Mage is scary. You have to understand we did kill him. Let's go to player perspective. Let's look at other people's farm. Oops. That's a pretty good Yules. And he's been chased. No, I think they're going to live. They've got a tower here, yeah. And Undying misses this spell completely. Okay, Ogre wants this. He's like, I want to go back. No, they're not going to go back. Anyways, that's enough of me blubbering about. I did respawn, and I'm here in the fight. So let's see what happens here. I have 5 diffusal charges. I've got my next item in the work. What am I going to buy? Why do I have this? Is this bugged or something? I clearly didn't want is another one of these. So I don't know why it's showing Manta style when I have a Manta style already. Oh well, it's confusing me. I'm going to go back to my hero. And I got a kill there. Let's rewind 10 seconds and see what happened. So yeah, we initiate from nowhere. He gets stunned and yeah, just you can't do anything. So right now I'm at a point, guys, where I feel very, very comfortable, right? And now this is where I have a decision to make, and you can actually do a little bit of thinking, right? As I said earlier, heart is, to me, it's not the best item there is. Look at that. I'm sending one of the illusions. That's something else you can do. You send the illusion forward, the creep starts attacking it, and you basically have the chance for your creeps to attack the tower even more, and that's how you basically take a tower. If you're an illusion hero, you send one in the front. But yeah, going back to the important point now, guys, we are winning team fights, we are doing pretty well, and think about it, considering it's a game where they have an anti-mage, they have a Sven, who are all countering me, and our carries late game. I mean, Drow is there, but you know, Drow really isn't a carry until, you know, someone can face tank for you. If it's all just squishy heroes, then Drow is an utterly useless hero, because if you get close enough to Drow, her ultimate ward wears off, and she is just, you know, there's no point of having a Drow. She's a useless hero then. But apart from that, if you can keep tanking, Drow will wreck people pretty badly. You know, Drow is Drow, a simple hero. But yeah, so the decision I was talking about is the decision for me to understand what am I going to do right now. You know, what's the next item? Look at that. He ulties. He's also dropped the golem. But let's see what's going to happen. See, it's just not possible, guys. You cannot run from a Phantom Lancer. It's as simple as that. It's just when he's initiated on you, you better have some kind of, you better have blinked earlier, or like, I don't know, multiple 4-staffs or something, because he will keep chasing you. Imagine the Diffusal Blade, and imagine the Spirit Lance, and also, you know, if you get a Skadi, the slow as well. And speaking of Skadi, I want to get back to the point, because I've been strafing, you know, around it a lot, is what's the next right choice for me? Now, Sven has Cleave, which means his one right click will pretty much kill all of my illusions, and as I say that, I kill him. Also, Anti-Mage has Cleave, thanks to the Battle Fury, which means that you know, if I want to initiate on him and do things to him, he can also kill the illusions and figure out, hey, this is the right one, I want to right click him. And then I'm in a right click battle against a hero where I only have just me fighting, you know, not the right ping. So the next item I go for that I decided to pick up would be a butterfly. Now I usually don't pick this item up. The build that I like to go for these days is Diffusal Blade, Manta style. I'll obviously have boots. The next item I'll get is an Eye of Skadi. Look at that, that's Diffusal slow, guys. Like, look at the damage, ridiculous, right? And right now I'm dominating. We've got 4 heroes dead, and you know, pretty good. So yeah, guys, right, the next item I would get is an Eye of Skadi, and after that I would either get a crit, which would be the Daedalus, right? That's a pretty good item on Phantom Lancer, because remember, look at that, guys. Now I realized something here, that even though he couldn't attack and he was initiated on, initially my illusions took some damage. So the first item I even buy for Butterfly is the evasion part, which is Talisman of Evasion, right? If I get evasion before they can get any true strike, this will allow me, my illusions, to hit enemy heroes for longer, and their cleave to be not as effective. Because I have to understand, right, if I go to game stats again, and if I look at the net worth, there we go. See, look at that. Wow, it's not in the right order. I am ahead of him, right? I am 3,000 gold ahead of the biggest hero there is right now. Let's do it like that. There we go. I'm at the top of the net worth. I have the most farm in the game, and I need to utilize this farm right now. You know, if I get an Eye of Skadi, it's gonna make me tanky and all, but you know, the illusions will just keep getting cleaved off, and they might have a chance to pick me off easily, as you saw in the other fights, because you know, if it's just me running away, then they know which one's the real one, and I have to keep him busy. I have to keep him guessing, you know. That's the whole game with Phantom Lancer. You have to keep him thinking, look at that, the illusions get popped off. That's what I'm talking about, you know. And I very much think so that the choice I made this game was a pretty good one of getting the evasion item. I can make this into a butterfly, which will give me more damage. It'll give me more attack speed, and that's all of that is amazing stuff. Now, you'll see the difference in the next fight clearly, guys, right? I picked up evasion before any of those heroes have anything to counter me. Look at that. Anti-Mage is nowhere near an MKB. He wouldn't even expect me to get an MKB, guys. But look how powerful this guy is. But Kotl mana drains him, and guess who's coming, you know? Look at that stun. Did I get silenced? No, I had to back off, I think. There we go. Oh no, in this one I actually got a kill here from my illusions. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go to free camera. Look at that. The Manta illusion was good enough that it made too many illusions, and it ended up killing Sven whilst I'm way far back doing my thing somewhere. There we go. Oh, I'm actually back in the fight. Never mind. I'm mucking this up. Am I going to die here? Am I going to die? Let's go to player perspective. There we go. No, I'm actually back there. I'm confused right now. Sorry about the bad camera work, guys. I'm learning. She comes here. Oh, this could be tricky. See, I use that to get away because I don't want to get hit by the ghost. The ghost will do damage regardless of, you know, they'll basically hit everything. But look at that. The illusion's doing work, and I didn't even know. And there we go. I think that's also should be a kill. Tide Ravages. And yeah, that's pretty easy. So it's a pretty simple game, right, guys? As I said, I had actually other games of Phantom Lancer too, to be honest with you, where I did even better. You know, I had more kills. But I think for this one, in terms of explaining like how you should counter, even if your hero has been counterpicked, how can you actually, you know, do good by making the right choices of items, right? I mean, skill build is not the only thing. It's also about your item build. And that's exactly what we're going to try and do here. So there we go. I'll soon finish my butterfly, and the next item that I can get a crit. I can also get a Skadi, but as you can see right now, it's pretty much in the bag. Am I going to chase him? I'm going to chase him. No, I'm not going to chase him. I'm not going to be greedy. So we're 10-1 right now, guys. Remember, we were 4-0 and then we died. That was 4-1, and after that we haven't died so far. There you go. I just dodged that. Dodged the tower. So this should be okay. But basically, this is Phantom Lancer for you guys. This is the game where you play as a carry, you work your way towards your big items, and then basically you just rush people, you know. As the ability says, Phantom Rush, you pick up the opportune moment. If you find a solo hero, you jump in. If it's a big team fight, look at that. Am I going to die here? No. I disappear, they get stunned, and I walk away. And I throw my Manta illusions out. I'm going to walk them in. Let's see what happens. I'm trying to micro them. They are chasing. Oh, Ogre Magi. That's going to be a juicy kill. There we go. Nice and easy. Right? See, supports are just so easy to kill because that mana drain works wonders. And the other thing I should talk about, guys, is the Diffusal Blade, right? Now, Diffusal Blade, most people would do is they'll try to rush it straight away to Diffusal 2. I think that's the wrong choice, guys. What I personally like to do is get Diffusal Blade 1, get straight after that, actually get a Yasha that gives me, you know, agility, movement speed, all the good stuff. And when my charges are out, that's the only time when I'm actually going to upgrade my Diffusal Blade. Because think about it, if I want to kill people, if I want to get the most quality, most effect out of my item, I better use it. Because if I straight away get it, all I get is another 50 agility and another, you know, 4 intelligence for 1,000 or something gold. That's not really a lot now, is it? Like, if I want to upgrade it, I might as well put another 1,000 gold and straight away get a Yasha that gives me more of movement speed and other cool stuff as well. So Diffusal Blade, I save it. I keep it at level 1 until I've used all the charges that are almost done, and then after that, you know, I'll upgrade it when I have to, because it's really good, as you can see, right? And this game I didn't show much of solo killing. Like, you saw a couple of kills here and there where supports would dare to come in the front and I would just, you know, chase them and kill them. But that's what a Phantom Lancer could do, right? Diffusal Blade is his core item by far, even if you don't want to go for a Manta, because some people I have seen rush straight away from a Diffusal Blade into a Skadi. That also works, you know, that's again a build you want to go for. But as I always keep saying, guys, I want to make videos where I show new guys like me of how to play Dota, you know. I can't do that many cool things together. Look at that. Now, he's solo, guys. Like, think about it. Like, what can he do? He's ultied, but like, that's it, you know. He's also going to feed me gold. You just can't run away. There's no way. And I used my Diffusal charge there as well. I actually should have killed the Tombstone too. That would have been free gold for me, but never mind. So there we go. Look at that. That's when I buy my Diffusal recipe. I know I've used all the charges. Time for me to get more charges, and that's how I would use a Diffusal Blade. But nonetheless, guys, right, as I said, this is Phantom Lancer for you. That's how I play him. I think he's a great hero. And to get back to that big question of, you know, how is he still Cancer? Is he still a Cancer Lancer? I think I'll let you guys decide, but I will say this thing, and that is a Phantom Lancer cannot split push like he used to back in the days. You know, he's not a split pushing hero anymore. That used to be the old split phantom. Right now, the way you play a Phantom Lancer is you get farm on him, and he's a hero that has endless chase potential. I mean, that's the word I will use for him, right? This hero can chase you to the ends of the earth, and he can do it very effectively without himself getting initiated on, right? He will keep spawning illusions, illusions will spawn illusions, so you wouldn't know which one's the real one, and at the same time you will be ridiculously slowed, and you'll have no mana, and it'll be a miserable time for you. So that's Phantom Lancer, right? In a team fight as well, he's pretty good at initiating. He's a good initiating hero. He can jump in, he can throw a lance, he can do a nuke damage, and he can do nasty things from there as well. When things get hairy, when he gets stunned or something, when all of your illusions are gone, you can use a Manta style to instantly get a few more illusions that will just fill up the whole screen with illusions in a mere second. And you know, you can take things from there. So that's Phantom Lancer for you. He cannot split push like he was able to used to before. Look at the illusions. They're basically, look at that. They just popped out. 8 seconds, that's it. But he's still pretty good at you know, getting farm in the lane. He's a great jungling hero, and I've showed you the jungling build, which is you maxed out Spirit Lance first, as you always do, but the next thing you want to go for is Doppelganger. If you max this out every 10 seconds, you can basically summon an illusion and start by having 3 illusions in a jungle camp, which makes it easier for you to kill them faster, A, and B is to survive as well as in take no damage because you can micro illusions, right? So he's a great jungling hero, and at late game, you know, he's an unstoppable force unless you get the right heroes, unless you get cleave. And what this enemy team should have gone right now, they should be looking at me. If you go to player perspective, we can right now see anti-mage is still stuck right now. He's got a recipe for Manta style. What he should be thinking about doing is basically going for an MKB, and let's look at Sven. Sven's a better target for that. He basically has no farm, right? We shut him down pretty hard. He was against me, he suffered a lot, and as you can see, his net worth is pretty much the same as my support hero here, so he's not doing good at all. But nonetheless, that is Sven for you. He should have also rushed. He needs a BKB, of course, and then he needs an MKB. So no one has that. And the way I ensured my late game ownage is, as I said, by making one smart choice that even though I should go for a Skadi, it gives me EHP and all, I'm actually going to go for evasion this game because I'm so far ahead that I want to make sure we get an easy victory over them. And you know, evasion is the best thing. Now my illusions are so tanky that even if they can figure out which one's the right one, they still can't damage it. And also, not just figure it out, they can't figure out which one's the right one because they're all, you know, when they right click them, they'll realize, oh, I'm missing attacks, that must mean this is the real one, or that, you know, this is a tanky illusion, this is a tanky unit, that, so it must be, you know, the thingy. Look at that, I got silence, I instantly Manta break, and they stunned the illusions. See, think about that, guys. They didn't even know which one was the real one, and I chase him down. Now I'm gonna Diffusal Sven, as you can see, and Sven gets a pretty bad things happen to him. Keeper of the Light gets a double kill. We were laughing about it. Now look at this as well, guys. Did you see that? He didn't know which one's the right one. He stunned a random illusion, and I also get a double kill. So there we go, guys, right? 14 kills so far for Phantom Lancer, and we are pretty much owning them. And that's basically 2 things, because I knew how to play my hero. We played in the safe lane. We made sure that I got the farm, even though I didn't participate in a lot of initial kills. I made sure I had my items, and then I basically kept my presence in the lane. And that's something you can also do, because earlier you could jungle, and you can also jungle right now with your Manta illusions, by the way, if you're very good. But I'm a noob and I screw it up. But generally, as you can see, once I get my 2 items, my Diffusal and my Manta style, I change my gameplay and I start pressuring the lanes so that they know they're there. Even if they want to come and gank me, and even if they do manage to kill me, I will take such a long time to die because of the confusion I create with illusions that they would have wasted their valuable time, and the other lanes could be pushed by other heroes. So what I do is, I'm a carry hero who creates a lot of space late game by having such a heavy presence. No supports can come in the lane and contest a farm against me, or even try and get a kill, because they know that if they come anywhere near me, as these guys have learned pretty... Look at that, they're not even attempting to stun me or anything, guys. Like, I'm pretty much doing the solo, and look at this. My friend was trolling me, he basically TP'd me back. And yeah, and my illusion still got the kill, so I was laughing at him. So like, there you go, man. But anyways, guys, this was Phantom Lancer for you. I will be making more of these videos, guys, and I'd make them, as I said, my prime goal is to... Oh, look at that. I'm going to shut up for a second. I'm going to show you illusions going to work. I got that triple kill, and that's going to be an ultra kill, and I'm like, can I get someone else? And I realize they're all, you know, just not there. and I just stand here and walk away. So it's GG time, guys. But basically, guys, to go with, you know, to finish my whole thought and the way it is, the way I make Dota videos is I make them with one big view in mind, is to educate and share my humble knowledge with my fellow friends who are new to the game, right? So every gameplay that you'll see from me, including this one, right, is about, if you're new to the game and if you're new to a hero, what can you do that can make you play well, play good at your level? So, you know, I don't come up with, you know, like the pro level strats, because clearly I don't know them, but even if I would, I think it'll be hard for you and me to implement if you're starting the game, that is, right? Because a lot of micro is involved. So basically what I want to do is I want to come up with simple ways to do effective things. So with that in mind, I hope you enjoyed the video. This has been the Holy Hermit for you. I will be making more Dota videos, so for those of you who are watching my videos, a sincere thanks to all of you. Like, if you wouldn't watch my videos, I would not have the courage to make them again and again, so thank you for the support. I also want to say thanks to my friend Hi You Guys, my Keeper of the Light, who stole like 3-4 kills from me. I wanted him to join in the commentary, but he said no, so, you know, maybe you guys can pressure him and it'll be fun. But never mind. Thank you for stopping by, guys. This has been the Holy Hermit for you. Have a nice evening. Have a nice new year ahead, as I said earlier. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.